Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to my downtime. Hope you're all having a great day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Sorry about the background. It's not perfect. I wish it was, but it's not. I just caught this video called It Gets Better, But You Have to Remove Labels by Jakob Dodd. By the way, I just subscribed to you because I really liked the video that you put out, and what you'd said in it reminded me a lot of my childhood. I didn't move around a lot like you did. I was basically in the same town my whole life, still am, but I went through a hard time because I was always different. Not just with my sexual identity, but with other things. I mostly was bullied because people kind of knew that I was different from them, and this was way back in elementary school. Come junior high, high school, people kind of learned that I was on the path of Wicca, and from that point spiritually, I had identified myself as being Wiccan. Now that I'm, in my 30s, I'm kind of quote-unquote coming home and coming into my own and understanding that, I always understood that Wicca was a branch of paganism, but I'm pretty much quote-unquote coming back home, coming back into my traditions as an eclectic pagan. But that was one of the biggest reasons that I was picked on a lot by people. Another reason was because I kind of always dressed up as goth rocker, and it wasn't because I was emo, it was because I believed in art and that I can express it when I'm walking down the street without even, putting up a canvas or in an easel and painting right there. It's so much simpler to wear it than carry it, is what they say. It's so much simpler to wear it than carry it. I don't know what just happened, but I'm sorry about that. The hell? I'm sorry. My fucking camera just fell. I'm not gonna edit that out. I'm so sorry. That kind of freaked me out. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my goddess. I'm okay. Anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah. I got picked on for different reasons. I got picked on because people recognized that I recognized what I did myself, and that I'd always been a student and practitioner of Wicca, and am now considered an eclectic pagan. That's one of the biggest reasons that people have picked on me, is because I wasn't Christian or Catholic, so they never really saw me as being acceptable because of that. I also did get picked on a few times for kind of acting a little bit boyish, because growing up I've always been a tomboy and a princess at the same time. And I wasn't a princess because I was raised to be, even though that's the truth. My dad really wanted me to be a princess, okay, because I'm always going to be daddy's little princess. But I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed dressing up and looking beautiful and looking like a doll. At the same time, I love being competitive. I love putting my hands in the dirt and actually, creating life from it. I used to have a green thumb. I like, getting into the nitty-gritty of things. I like to work hard. I don't just want to, earn something. I want to work my ass off to earn it, which is probably what makes me competitive, and that's kind of my boyish side. And the fact that when I grew up, I was always jealous of my older brother Greg. I love him. I will always love him. He's the best brother I'm ever gonna have. I would always be jealous of him because I remember being as old as 8 years old, and my brother got his first BB gun, and I said, "Daddy, when am I gonna get my BB gun?" And the first thing, believe it or not, he said was, you're not going to get one because you're a girl. I said, what? I literally looked at him like, what? Because I'm a girl? Like, why the fuck does that matter? And then he looks at me and he's like, well, you're too young. He started to excuse it, but then, like, I think he kind of understood. But he started to excuse it by saying, well, you can't have one until you're your brother's age, 12. I said, okay, Daddy. Okay, Daddy. Actually, I was like 10 that time because me and my brother are like only 2 years apart, so sorry about that. Small inaccuracy there. But I wanted to start to shoot a gun too, because like, we didn't just grow up in our home here, where I grew up, but we also had a home in Pennsylvania too, and some land. So I basically grew up between here in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And, you know, whenever my brother would, you know, have his little fun shooting at cans and stuff, I said, Daddy, why can't I do that? And finally he chilled out and he said, you know, not until you're 12. And I said, I'll hold you to that. And finally, when I was 12, now, we're talking about a man that served as a Green Beret in Nam. He will keep his word. He will most certainly keep his word, and he did. As soon as I turned 12, what did I get? I got my Daisy. That's what they were called back then, those BB guns. They were called Daisies. So I got me one. And I started shooting at cans and stuff, and it was fun. It was, oh, yay! I get to be with my brother now, and I get to do stuff that he does. You know, like, I just wanted to be with him. And then I realized, like, a part of me was kind of like a tomboy, because it went further than that. Like, I got to the point where Dad wanted to go, like, out on the property in Pennsylvania. Dad wanted to go do something, and I'm like, Dad, I want to come along, I want to come along. You can't do it. And that was always his mindset. You can't do it because you're a girl. He didn't always say it, but that was always his mindset behind saying, you can't do it. And I'm like, Daddy? I'd look at him like, really? No, I want to do it, and I want to do it now. Okay, okay, okay. I would start screaming. That's what got him. I started screaming. So, to keep me from screaming and to shut me up, he was like, okay, fine, come along with me. Then by the time that I reached my teens, he understood. He understood I had that side to me, so it was always just him and me, teamwork going on. That was cool. We always met in the middle. I went off on a tangent. I kind of forgot where I was going, but I wanted to subscribe to your channel. That's where I was. Basically because I had been bullied all of my life. Not really so much for my sexuality as I was because of my spirituality. And I think that, you know, I think that's the most important part of any person's life, and that we should be above tolerant at this point as far as, you know, accepting each other goes spiritually, but not just, you know, on a sexual basis, even though I know where you're coming from. I think, honestly, people need to start accepting each other on a more spiritual basis, you know, try to coexist in peace and love and peace. I know I've done it. I've been in, I guess, what would be called a mixed spiritual or religious relationship. I've been in mixed racial relationships. I've been with men. I've been with women. So it's like there really is a lot going on there that people don't want to talk about or touch on. And I think that I'm going to do that more on this channel if I can. Right now I'm just sticking to doing video responses. But I know where you're coming from. I know exactly how you feel. Like, even though I didn't go from school to school to school to school, I still got picked on a hell of a lot. Went through the thing of not being able to stand going to school every day because I knew what I was about to face. I knew how much I got picked on. I knew why. I knew how miserable it was going to make me feel, and because of that I was depressed most of the time. It wasn't because I was naturally depressed. I was naturally happy. Like, in fact, I actually made it a point to have something to look forward to every day. And if it was literally making what I wore and my body art, I did that. That made me happy every day. That kept me going. Yeah. So, I mean, I just wanted to send this video response to tell you all of that, and also that I subscribed. And if there's any other reason I need to contact you, I'm not going to do it through messages. I really don't want to do it that way. I'm not saying that everybody who sends you messages are like punks or, you know, cowards, because they're not. Anybody who is bullied is not a coward. In fact, we're stronger than they are. But me personally, if I have something to say as far as your videos goes and as far as what I think goes, and I'm not just touching on sexual identity, I'm touching on everything, I will send you a video response about that, just like I'm doing right now. I appreciate you, I appreciate your channel, and I will be around. I most certainly will. And for everybody else out there who's watching this video response, especially my subscribers, I thank you for watching me. Honestly, I do. I thank you for watching me, and please, you know, don't be afraid to speak your voice. Whatever it is that is your identity and that you believe in, you know, any choices that you make in your life, anything that you were naturally born with, do not be afraid to share that, and do not let people try to bury that down under the sand, just like their heads. Their heads are basically buried under the sand because they got nothing to say. Fuck them. Be you, just live your life. Peace. Love y'all. Catch you on the next one.
And I win.